Making headlines. The President extends heartfelt wishes and greetings to all teachers and educators in the Maldives in celebration of International Teachers' Day. The President underscores the crucial importance of learning from the noble moral virtues brought by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. And the President emphasizes the importance of teachers supporting the government's initiatives related to intellectual development. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to PSM News. I'm your host Malak Ahmad Fayaz. Now for the news in detail. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu underscores the crucial importance of learning from the noble moral virtues brought by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. He made the statement during his address at the official ceremony held to commemorate the day Maldives embraced Islam.
Speaking at the ceremony, President Dr. Muizzu called on all parties to actively participate in transforming Maldivian society into one guided by the principles of the Quran and Sunnah. The President emphasized the importance of learning from the noble moral virtues brought to the world by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, refraining from committing evil acts and working to prevent such actions. He also reminded the people that Sunnah instructs them not to spread falsehoods or insults and to speak only good and truthful words, highlighting that the way a Muslim society must function is clearly outlined in the religion. President Dr. Muizzu expressed concern over the current situation of the society. As such, the President noted that the spread of falsehoods or insults represents a significant threat to the societal cohesion, characterizing such behavior as deeply ingrained into the souls of Maldivians. He stated that this in turn negatively impacts several individuals as well. Furthermore, President Dr. Muizzu stated that the spread of falsehood initially began from the Munafiqs in Medina. Therefore, the President urged the people to remain steadfast in their adherence to Islam in their intentions, words and actions. He also called on individuals to refrain from spreading falsehood and evil acts. Noting that the conversion of the Maldivian people to Islam was driven by the peace and security that Islam brings, the President explained that at the time of the nation's conversion, the Maldives was under attack and persecution by a regional power.
President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu emphasizes the importance of teachers supporting the government's initiatives related to intellectual development, which he stated was equally important to nation building as infrastructure and housing. The remarks were made by the President during the ceremony held to commemorate the day the Maldives embraced Islam. In a speech which coincided with Teachers' Day, President Dr. Muizzu also addressed the country's educators, acknowledging their pivotal role in shaping future generations. The President highlighted the need for teachers to instill values such as humanity, discipline and responsibility in students. He called on teachers to nurture young Maldivians with a strong sense of national identity and ethics rooted in Maldivian culture, underscoring the importance of fostering a generation that values hard work, accountability and responsibility. However, President Dr. Muizzu noted that the responsibility extends beyond educators, urging all citizens to play their part in shaping the nation's future. The President highlighted that moral growth begins with personal responsibility, referencing the Holy Quranic teaching that change starts from within. Reaffirming his commitment to intellectual development as a pillar of national progress, President Dr. Muizzu referenced his previous address in February, where he outlined his administration's philosophy, developing the nation's people alongside its physical infrastructure. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu emphasizes that empowerment of the nation's youth requires a proper understanding of Islam and Maldivian identity in a way that resonates with their mindset. He made these remarks during a ceremony held to commemorate the day the Maldives embraced Islam. During the ceremony, President Dr. Muizzu stressed the importance of conveying the facts of Maldivian history and the country's enduring independence in a manner that young people can easily grasp. He added that Islamic values and Maldivian national identity must be woven into everyday life to fully achieve this goal. Furthermore, President Dr. Muizzu highlighted the need to ensure that every young person, regardless of gender, is equipped to advocate for the nation and contribute to its development. The President underscored the necessity of nurturing the moral and spiritual well-being of the younger generation. His address primarily focused on the representation of Muslims in Islam and the Holy Quran, the presence of non-religious practices in contemporary Maldivian society, and how people should align their actions to reform these issues. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu confers a special medal, memento and prize for 28 Hafizes for committing the Noble Quran to memory at the highest standard.
The medals were presented to the recipients on the ceremony held to mark the day the Maldives embraced Islam. The decision to award Hafizes with special medals from the President was taken in 2014, aiming to encourage the recitation and memorization of the Holy Quran and to appreciate the hard work of Hafizes. In 2014, the medals were awarded to only 3 recipients in the ceremony held to commemorate the Republic Day of Maldives. Following this, Hafizes have been presented the special medal by the President annually. However, in 2020, the government brought changes to the policy regarding the conferring of special medals to Hafizes, such that those who earn 85% marks and complete the memorization at the highest standard are awarded in the official ceremony held to mark the Republic Day of Maldives. Meanwhile, the remaining Hafizes will be awarded with the special medal during the closing ceremony of the National Quran competition. Despite this change, President Dr. Muizzu has decided to confer the special medals to all Hafizes regardless of their rank.
President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu extends his heartfelt wishes and greetings to all teachers and educators in the Maldives in celebration of International Teachers' Day. In a social media post, President Dr. Muizzu praised teachers, calling them a guiding light in the lives of many. He likened them to candles that illuminate themselves to brighten the path for others, ensuring that everyone can progress forward in the light they provide. International Teachers' Day, observed annually on October 5th, highlights this year's theme, valuing teachers as voices towards a new social contract for education. The theme emphasizes the importance of including teachers in education policy discussions and amplifying their voices. Minister of Divehi Language, Culture and Heritage Adam Nasir Ibrahim underscores the foundation of life for the citizens of Maldives is rooted in the sacred religion of Islam. He made the remarks during an official gathering commemorating the day the Maldives embraced Islam.
Speaking at the event, Minister Adam Nasir highlighted the most significant transformative event in the Maldivian history was the nation's conversion to Islam. He said that this momentous day marked a turning point in the lives of the Maldivian citizens, bringing about profound positive changes. He also described the conversion as a great blessing and fortune for the country. Additionally, Minister Adam Nasir stressed that Islam remains the most crucial aspect of the lives of the Maldivian people. He noted that the Divehi language spoken by Maldivians contains many terms deeply connected to the religion and shared insights into the customs of Maldivian ancestors and their Islamic ties. He also emphasized that the highest truths, actions and fundamental values in the lives of the Maldivian people are all rooted in Islam. The Maldives converted to Islam 800 years ago. The 2nd of Rabiul Akhir marks the anniversary of this event, celebrated annually.
That's all the news we have at the moment. We'll be back to you after a prayer break.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدًا الوسيلة والفضيلة والدرجة الرفيعة وبعثه مقامًا محمودًا الذي وعدته وارزقنا شفاعته برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وصلى الله على محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
मगुमच्चे सवाल को नुदुनु एमे फोन तिजहुनी मुळिमुन ग बेंडेज वालाकन एक्सीडेंट तहुगा नुवदी है इनसे तमी हम मारवनी बोले लिबियानी अक्सर साइकिल दुबार हेलमेट वाला
एरेग दुनिया के नजर हुट्टिफावा पोड़े ती मसलता
Cero votos en contra.
ए मसल तहुगे एम्मे फहुग तफसीर
Is fundamentally different from past proposals.
एम्मे फुन दिरासा कुरमा पॉइंट
ದುನಿಯೆಗೆ ಖಳಿ ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ದುವಹಕು ಸೋಳ ಗಡಿ ತಿರಿಹುಗ PSMNEWS ಸಿಂಗ್
Welcome back to PSM News. Minister of Education Dr. Ismail Shafiu emphasizes the need for teacher development to achieve educational goals. He made the statement while speaking at the 3rd Education Ministerial Conference of the Islamic World Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, ISESCO. The conference took place in Oman from October 2nd to 3rd.
Speaking at the conference, Minister Dr. Shafiu highlighted the high illiteracy rates among children under 10 years old and called for urgent efforts to address the issue. As such, he referred to the roadmap from the Transforming Education Summit, which underscores the importance of implementing strategies to tackle such challenges. He also noted that the objectives of ISESCO align with those of the Maldivian government. Additionally, Minister Dr. Shafiu acknowledged that the Maldives has successfully met its educational targets at both primary and secondary levels. He, however, stressed the need for further development in the areas of technology and teacher training. Recognizing that teachers are the backbone of the education system, Minister Dr. Shafiu cited UNESCO's projections, which indicate that an additional 40 million teachers will be needed globally by 2030 to fulfill primary and secondary education requirements. He also pointed out the shortage of qualified teachers in Islamic countries and called for efforts to ensure the safety of Palestinian citizens, the removal of barriers to education for Palestinian students, and justice for children in the region.
The Ministry of Tourism records a 9.6% increase in tourist arrivals to the Maldives as of September 2024 compared to the same period in 2023. The latest statistics released by the Tourism Ministry show that 1.49 million tourists visited the Maldives by September this year, up from 1.36 million during the same time last year. The statistics show that February saw the highest monthly arrivals, with 200,000 tourists visiting. In September alone, there was 132,799 arrivals, which is a 1.4% increase compared to the 130,967 arrivals recorded during the same month last year. The statistics also reveal that China is the leading source of tourists, contributing 221,143 arrivals, followed by Russia with 162,288, and the United Kingdom, UK, with 126,332. On average, 4,427 tourists arrive in the Maldives daily, and they typically stay for 7 days. The government has set a target of attracting 2 million tourists by the end of the year. With 507,969 more tourists needed, the government expects to meet this goal by December. The Maldives immigration reveals that 2 accommodation blocks in Hulumale were raided, leading to the arrest of 8 foreigners.
The immigration said that the arrests were made as part of an ongoing operation targeting illegal immigrants in the Greater Malé region who are conducting businesses without valid visas. Immigration officers inspected accommodations in Hulumale on October 3rd, where the 8 individuals were detained. The operation was carried out by immigration officer trainees as part of their special training program for new recruits. The immigration said that a mass inspection took place in Hulumale Phase 1 and 2 in September, during which 314 locations were searched, resulting in the arrest of 28 foreigners. These efforts are part of a broader initiative by immigration, which includes not only identifying illegal immigrants, but also inspecting food establishments that may pose public safety risks and checking the residences of foreign nationals. The immigration has deported 4,054 illegal immigrants since November 17 last year. Controller General of Immigration Muhammad Shamman has highlighted the positive outcomes of these efforts. He also expressed the government's goal to address the issue of illegal immigration within the next 3 years.
U.S. stocks closed solidly higher as a stronger than expected jobs report reassured investors who had worried the economy may be getting too weak. U.S. job gains increased in September by the most in 6 months, and the unemployment rate fell to 4.1%, the report showed. Traders further reduced bets on a 50 basis point reduction at the Federal Reserve's November 6 to 7th meeting. traders are now pricing in just an 8% chance of a 50 bps rate cut, down from around 31% early on Friday, the CME Group's FedWatch tool showed.
Markets are higher today. I think a reflection of something that we've been looking for, which is that good news is again good news, right? So jobs report comes in better than expected, and rather than the market sell off because it means the Fed might not cut rates or might have to get more aggressive, it means that a recession is farther away than maybe some nervous investors had expected. So good news is good news. A couple of other things on the margins, but I think a big jobs beat is driving the market higher today.
Small caps outperformed, with the Russell 2000 index gaining. The S&P 500 Financials Index also rose. According to preliminary data, the S&P 500 gained 50.59 points, or 0.89 points, to end at 5,750.53 points, while the Nasdaq Composite gained 216.85 points, or 1.21%, to 18,135.33. The Dow Jones Industrial Average rose 331.40 points, or 0.79%, to 42,342.99. The S&P Energy Index was up again following oil prices higher. With tensions in the Middle East escalating, the index was also up sharply for the week. An Israeli strike hit Lebanon's northern city of Tripoli for the first time after more bombardment hit Beirut's suburbs, and Israeli troops sought to make new ground insertions into southern Lebanon. A Lebanese source said that a Hamas official, his wife and 2 children were killed in the strike on a Palestinian refugee camp in Tripoli. Hamas-affiliated media said the strike killed a leader of the group's armed wing. The Israeli military did not immediately comment on the strike on Tripoli, a Sunni-majority port city. Israel has sharply expanded its strikes on Lebanon in recent weeks after nearly a year of exchanging fire with Lebanon's Iran-backed armed group Hezbollah. Fighting had been mostly limited to the Israel-Lebanon border area, taking place in parallel to Israel's year-old war in Gaza against Hamas. Israel has been carrying out nightly bombardment of Beirut's once densely populated southern suburbs, a stronghold of Hezbollah. Overnight, a military spokesman issued 3 alerts for residents there to evacuate, and witnesses then heard at least 1 blast. On Friday, Israel said it had targeted Hezbollah's intelligence headquarters in the southern suburbs and was assessing the damage after a series of strikes on senior figures in the group. Israel has eliminated much of Hezbollah's senior military leadership, including Secretary General Said Hassan Nasrallah, in an air attack on September 27th. Lebanon's government says more than 2,000 people have been killed there in the past year, most in the past 2 weeks. Strikes on medical teams and facilities, including the Lebanese Red Cross, Lebanese public hospitals, and rescue workers affiliated to Hezbollah have also increased. Lebanon's government says more than 1.2 million Lebanese have been forced from their homes, and the United Nations UN says most displacement shelters in the country are full. Many had gone north to Tripoli or to neighboring Syria, but an Israeli strike on Friday closed the main border crossing between Lebanon and Syria. UN spokesperson Stephanie Dujarric called the toll on Lebanese civilians totally unacceptable. Britain reaches their first America's Cup final for 60 years, defeating Italy to set up a head-to-head against defenders New Zealand later this month of Barcelona.
There were loud celebrations among the 8 sailors on board the British AC-75 foiling boat after they crossed the finish to win the Louis Vuitton Cup Series over Italy, and with it the right to challenge New Zealand. The British have never won the coveted old mug since it began off the south coast of England in 1851, and have not qualified for the match to challenge for it since 1964. But skipper Ben Ainslie, with the backing of British billionaire Jim Ratcliffe, has built a boat with the help of Formula One team Mercedes that he hopes can go all the way.
Yeah, it's been a while. Look, it's a massive day for our team, and I'll say how proud I am of everyone, not just here on the water, but also back on the shore here in Barcelona and back. You know, we've got a lot of people back in Brackley in the UK. helping us on the technical side, so this is for the team.
Ainsley and his crew were joined by Ratcliffe after they were presented with the silverware for beating the Italian crew in a tightly contested race.
Next week's Nobel Prize announcements will crown achievements that made the world a better place, a glimmer of optimism amid a spiraling Middle East conflict, war in Ukraine, famine in Sudan, and a collapsing climate. The prize winners will be announced between October 7th and 14th. For the Peace Prize, the most prestigious of the 6 Nobels, experts say it is harder than ever to predict the Norwegian Nobel Committee's pick to be revealed on October 11th. Swedish philanthropist Alfred Nobel created the prizes in his 1895 will, stipulating that they go to those who have conferred the greatest benefit of humankind. Dan Smith, the head of the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, suggested that given the bleak state of world affairs, perhaps no one should get the Peace Prize this year. He said that this is the time to say that many people are working very hard, but it's not getting there, and many more people and world leaders need to wake up and realize the current extremely dangerous situation. He added that there are now over 50 armed conflicts around the world. Not awarding a Peace Prize would be viewed as an acknowledgement of failure by the award committee and is therefore deemed unlikely. A total of 286 nominations are known to have been submitted for the Peace Prize this year, though the committee keeps the names sealed for 50 years. Those entitled to nominate are, however, allowed to reveal their picks. Among those known to be on the list are some actors involved in the Middle East, such as the UN Agency for Palestinian Refugees, UNRWA, Palestinian human rights group Al-Haq, its Israeli counterpart, BT Salem, and the International Court of Justice, ICJ. Given the existential risks to humanity posed by weapon systems that can operate autonomously without human control, several Nobel watchers have cited the campaign to stop killer robots as a possible laureate. That's all the news we have for today. Thank you all for watching.